Okay, so there are few enough of us that I'm not going to mute everybody. If you have background noise and you feel like it's too much, you can mute. Um, we'll just go from there. Sound like a good plan? Okay, so I started to say a few of you weren't on yet, but these calls, these Zooms, I want to try and keep 30 minutes or less on a weekly basis because I don't want to take away time. I want us to be disciplined and focus, activity driven, focused on the things that are actually going to affect our business. And this is just a gather, regroup, focus, evaluate process, progress. Huh, get the words out. I was stumbling on my words last night. If anybody was on the opportunity Zoom, I was all over the dang place. But I just think this is a good time for us to get together and see where we're at and with goals. And every week, I'm going to suggest for us to do, to have like a little task. And it'll be more of a personal task than it will be, adding an activity or anything like that. So I first want to talk just a tidbit about the book. I know there are a few of us that don't even have the book yet. So I wanted to just, I guess, touch on the beginning of the book, because the beginning of the book talks about discipline, what is discipline, and who should hold you accountable for discipline, self-discipline, right? And how it's all on our shoulders and why maybe we're not as disciplined as we should be. So I guess this 90-day run, when we talked about it, Kagan and I kind of talked about this. Her team is doing something very similar, and she's far harsher than I am. You guys probably haven't ever experienced that part, but she's like, no excuses. If you don't show up, I'm taking you out of the group. And I don't want it to be like that. Like I have more yellow in me than that. Like I want you guys to have all the opportunities to win. But at the same time, I want this to be a no excuses, like we're holding ourselves a bar ahead. And when I made that comment in the chat today about this is the group that will be like paving the way for the legacy, like I know that right now and I have to redo the pinned post because we have a new director. Congratulations, Allie. She is a director. But I know we have like our team leaders and our senior team leaders and our directors, but guys, those are just titles, right? Like you don't have to have a title to be a leader. So I'm going to take and add the people that are continuously, I'm going to kind of give it a little bit, but the people that are in this group, I kind of want us to step up. I want us to be the ones posting in the page, and you guys have already started doing that without me even saying a word. And I was like, oh, my heart is beating. Same thing in the chat, like showing up and giving love. And every single one of you, well, not every single one of you, and it doesn't bother me or not bother me. Some of you are like, hey, I don't want to step on toes. Like, is it okay if I post? And I'm like, post away, share all the goodness, like everybody can take away from what you guys have. And Allie actually asked me today about sharing something, and I said, you know what, at this point, if it works for one person, I think we should share it, right? Because something different is going to work for every person. So I'm just all about finding all the tools, all the tricks, all the hacks that are going to work for everybody. So we're just going to really crush this together. All right. So about the self-discipline, I'm not going to dig too far in because, like I said, some people don't have the book yet. And I sometimes have to read and then reread because my mind doesn't let me like focus and retain. Like I'll read a whole page and be like, let me start at the top again because I didn't retain any of that. I was on another planet when I read that page. So I'm going to focus really hard on getting this book and doing some notes. Yes, I am going to have to take notes too. I think that's exactly what I'm going to have to do because what I've read and what I have retained, I've really liked. And I know that his story is different than our story, but at the same time, like when you start talking about self-discipline and training against your competitor and like holding yourself to a higher bar, like that is totally relatable to what we do, right? There's somebody else out there training harder than you. There's somebody out there personal developing harder than you. There's somebody out there being more consistent than you. So we have to just up our bar, right? We have to just show up and hardcore be the best version we can. So with that, I want, and I would love for you all to share in the chat when you have yours, one habit for this next week that you're going to work on or you're going to change. It can be like, for me, I really think that it's going to be getting up and staying up in the morning. because I get up with my husband in the morning, I do his coffee and his lunch, and then as soon as he shuts the front door, my dogs sprint to the bed, and I'm like, oh, I can go cuddle my dogs. And so I do, but it's a waste of time, right? Like, they can come be at my feet in the office where, you know, that hour of time is worth it. And I can. And I already told you that I deleted all bad things off my phone, all non-income producing things off my phone. That was hard. So we're all going to pick a habit that we're going to put in place. And that could be reading an extra 10 minutes. That could be drinking more water. That could be going to bed earlier. That could be not eating as much sugar. You know, you could pick a specific food that you're going to eliminate. I don't care what it is. It doesn't have to be business related, but we're all going to work on this for development, right? Okay. So that, and then I want you to share it in the 90-day, the Goal Achiever chat, so we all can kind of follow up with each other and see how our habits are going. Okay, so I'm not going to pull up or screen share anything, but I wanted to take this specific call to talk about month end and to give you an opportunity to, like, I wanted to look at your all's back office, right? I want to show you what I look for, and we're going to do a full back office training at the end of July, before the month is over, so you don't have to do a previous month and all that jazz, and we can look at your whole team and we can just really work through that thing. But today, we still have 2 days, today and 2 more days to backdate if need be, and so many of you are close to the next step on one or the other, or maybe even both sides of the plan, right? So I wanted to take a minute. I'm just going to look on my phone and tell you guys what I look for and explain a little bit what I look at when I'm trying to help somebody. I'm going to pick one of you. Tell me one of you that you know are close to something. Actually, I know Nikki Myver. I'm going to look at yours, okay? Are you okay with me talking about yours?
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, we're all going to cheer on Nikki too, because Nikki's really close to a big promotion too. And it's totally worth it.
You can do it.
Okay. So in your back office, when you're going to, like, towards month end, and in this, I usually start this like 2 to 3 days before the end of the month. I will go in, and in your phone, I click these little lines right here, and then I click My Business, and then Business Dashboard. Okay, so what happens is it'll pull up my dashboard. So all of my stuff will be on, like, the main screen. I'm going to pop up right there. But if you click this little head right here, it brings up my entire team. So instead of me scrolling, you guys, I've been left with a mess. There's probably 800 people in my back office that are inactive from that people signed up when they should have. That's a whole nother ballgame. But at the very top, it says search team members. I can type in Nikki. It'll pull up every person. Luckily, there's not a lot of Nikki's the way that Nikki spells it. So Nikki will pull right up, and I click on her name, and it's going to pull her dashboard. Okay? So as your team grows, you're going to want to know that that search is available. In the beginning, when you only have 2 social marketers or 1 social marketer or 5 social marketers, it's easy just to click on each name. But that search becomes very key. Okay? It's very helpful, especially if you're like, somebody messages you and says, hey, I need this. Allie, you just said you didn't know you could search them. You just type in that freaking name and you have the one person in a split second. So on Nikki's page, I scroll up and I go to the square that says builder title requirements. So this is on the builder side, obviously. And I'm going to look at all of her legs. Okay, so it's gonna give me a breakdown of where all her volume is based on all the legs she has. I do both, Tina. I love you too, baby. Be safe. Oh, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, 3:30. Okay, love ya. Okay, so it gives me all of her legs. So when you guys message me and say, hey, I know I'm this much away, but in the builder square, it tells me I need this much balance, I'm going to look at your legs and tell you, and I'm going to look and see who your heaviest legs are. Because your heaviest one is usually not the one that needs to make up the difference. It's usually the others. Okay? So you're going to know who to spend your time with. And guys, don't wait for month end to look at your legs start earlier in the month and keep an eye on who is fluctuating. Is it 50%? Great question. So up till senior team leader, it's 50%. At director 1, it becomes 7,000, 5,000 as a balance. And then it starts splitting 70-30 as you go higher. So like at elite, 70,000 can come from one leg, the other two or however many legs need to add up to at least 30,000. Okay, so the balance is different. It's crazy every time. Does that make sense? And as we go up, as you guys like, if I want you guys to ask all the questions, and not right now, unless you have questions right now. By all means, you can ask questions right now. But when these things come up, don't feel like you have to figure it out on your own. Like I would rather spend 10, 15, 20, an hour with you on your back office to help you understand it. Because the more of you that understand this, the more your team will grow because you can coach your people, right? There are a lot of people out there that are looking at this going, I don't know what the hell these numbers mean, so I'm not going to do anything. Yeah, it's true. Okay, so I look at her legs, right? So that's the first thing I look at. And then I'm going to go to the box that says builder title, because I just looked at her legs. And it's going to show me, first of all, if it's going to have those check marks, right? I have a little teenager right behind my computer. No, get out of here. I'm recording. So it's going to tell me organizational points. Now I'm going to tell you Nikki's points because here's where it gets really tricky, you guys. She's got 7,400 out of 6,000 for a senior team leader. So she's over volume for senior team leader. She's balanced, but guess what she doesn't have is a senior consultant. Okay. So this is where we look at, and honestly, I wish I had started looking 2 weeks ago at Nikki's, because we would have started really coaching in that area to make sure that the bodies are there. They just don't have the volumes, right? So some extra coaching. Now we have time, and she's really stinking close. So it's going to happen. We're going to pull it off. But that's what you want to look at and keep an eye on what you need. And as you go up, like director 1, you have to have a personally enrolled team leader leg. Director 2, you need 2 personally enrolled team leader legs. The highest you need, director 3 and above, you have to have 3 personally enrolled team leaders. No, 1 personally enrolled, but you need 3 team leader legs. So you cannot move up in the team builder side without personally recruiting. Okay, so that's something to really work with your people on. And I think that we're really going to take this group right here and build upon the recruiting part of things, right? Now, I don't want to forget, because right now I'm so dang focused on the promoter side. Same exact thing, right? I'm going to go to the promoter title. You guys got to keep an eye on.
Can I ask you a question before you switch?
Yes, absolutely.
So, like, you and I talked a while ago, and I moved somebody. Like, is there a magic number of how many this way we should have on our team versus before we start moving under, or it really depends?
So I think you're going to get a different question every time you ask someone.
Okay.
Or different answer. I'm sorry. Did I say question? I feel like
that's a
question. I think you're going to get a different answer depending upon who you ask. So once you go elite, there's something called 4 and more. So your OP3, so your group volume of your main 3 legs is called your OP3. And then anything outside of that, your 4th leg and up, we get a percentage of their entire volume. So my personal opinion is 5 to 6 legs. There are people out there that will tell you 30 legs. But there are people that'll tell you never place below your 2nd or 3rd level. And then there are people that'll say place until you built yourself. Okay, so I think it's a case-by-case basis, and I was a charting fool at my last company, and I really had a grasp on where and how to build people. And so I feel like I have a really good grasp on that here. I'm still learning the comp part of it to make sure that we can maximize. But I feel like every time we need to do placing, you guys, that's a great thing. I'm glad that just came up. You guys need to keep an eye on your placement suite. So under...
People might not even know what that means because I didn't.
I know. Under your My Business, same place where that business dashboard is, there's a thing called placement suite. Okay? Every time you enroll a social marketer, They go into that placement suite and they stay there for 60 days. You have 60 days to decide where you want somebody to be in your organization. Okay? So we keep an eye on that, right? Like you want to have an idea of when somebody's time's running out and where the best place is to put them in their business, in your business.
But how do you know where to move them?
We have a conversation. It's here's what I think. Like I still message Amber and I freaking just voice. I literally just sit and talk, and I talk through all the options. She literally sits there and listens. Okay. I talk through all the options, and by the end of the conversation, I've already made the decision myself. She usually doesn't coach me too much, but it's better to talk it out and really feel out, well, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. And then she can interject and be like, hey, I think that this person, you know, like, hey, what about we could really help somebody? There is something really freaking fun about enrolling somebody and placing them, like being able to say, for instance, it would be really awesome right now if I said, guess what, Nikki, I can place somebody underneath Beth. We're just going to make this happen.
That would be awesome.
Like there is something really rewarding about that. So as we're enrolling, those are things that you can do for your team as you're growing. That's why we all need to get in recruiting gear. Okay. That is like the most fun part of being a leader, is being able to do things like that. Okay. And I can't wait for you all to do that. It's been a long time since I've been able to do that myself. So we're all getting in gear and we're doing this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So promoter. I do want you guys to not ever like hesitate to ask a question. Like don't hesitate, because the more we can talk through. Okay, so here, same thing, you guys. I feel like I have found more people this month than any other month, I think, that have the volume, but they don't have enough active customers. People aren't keeping an eye on their active customers. So your deal is, are you personally qualified? Did you run your SmartShip? Do you have enough activity points, right? I don't know about you guys, but did you all listen to the kickoff call? The new leader summit for SRC is in January. And in order to be qualified, like to even be able to earn qualifying lifestyle credits for the leadership summit, you have to be bronze or enroll a social marketer every single month. And you have to be personally qualified with a SmartShip or 150 activity points. So I will tell you just from personal, I mean, I think we all should be product of the product. I have never not ran a SmartShip every single month that I've been with this business. As a business, you have to make investments. I mean, we don't have any overhead besides our SmartShip. You can't open any other business without some overhead, right? And so our monthly order, and we get some of it free. So I have never not run a SmartShip. I think that's a minimal thing. So I encourage you all to do the same. And then keeping track of your active customers. Okay, that's really all there is on the promoter side. Okay, so that was really fast and really just cover, but I want you guys to be able to right now be able to go in there. I would love to see more promotions coming through, or even maintaining old ranks, or like getting back where we need, right? So there's that. Okay, so just a couple things that were brought to my attention today that I wanted to bring to you guys. I had a girl that was interested in doing this 90-day run, and so we took the conversation out of the big chat and we were talking about it, and she's like, I can't commit to that. I'm brand new. It scares me. Like, I still have like small questions, and this feels like a little higher level. And I agree, it is a little higher level. She said, have you ever thought about doing, and I'm going to tell you exactly what she called it. And I was like, dude, I think it's smart. And I think that it would be something that I would like this group to run. But I don't want to throw it on you. I want us to talk about it and think about it, and then decide if it's something. I've sent so many dang messages. I gotta find it. I'm just gonna search. Anyway, she said, do you have any Lord have mercy. Like a chat for new people. There it is. She said, I definitely need a newbie check-in group to keep me on track and talk about all the feelings. So those things would be bombarding in our onward chat, right? Because some of us are like, why don't you know the answer to that question? Have you even done your training? Don't even tell me that when some of the questions come up, some of you are like, did you even do your training? That goes through our heads. I guarantee you. I want to message them and be like, did you do your training? But I don't. So what do you guys think? And this is, I know we're all like, freak, another chat, another group, another whatever, but maybe a chat or a group for somebody's first 30 days. And then after
I'm okay with it.
You what?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
I think that's a great idea. Because those first 30 days, you don't know what the heck you're doing.
So do you think it should be a chat or do you think it should be a group?
I think a group, because a chat, things get lost.
That's
And then
true.
we can make them some. No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, just because if you say, like, if you explain something and then someone asks later, if it's in a group, you can go up and tag them in that, or they can search like Newbie Bible or whatever. Versus, I know I put stuff like in my team chat and people will ask a question. I'm like, I just answered that. Oh, but now there's 20 other things. So then,
Yeah.
hey, let me get it back for you.
So do you think like it would be good to put somebody in for the first 30 days and then it would be our responsibility as the sponsor to remove them after their 30 days?
Yeah.
Or they can remove themselves.
Or they can remove themselves. But I don't feel like people need to hang out in there because I just feel like
Right.
the more things that we have, the more we spread ourselves, the less that we are as productive, especially as a new person. So after 30 days, like you're just in a legacy and dynasty or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I do like the idea of them removing themselves, because if they haven't been able to really jump in with both feet because they've got a full-time job and a million other things, they may need to stay in 60 days to feel comfortable.
This is true.
But yeah, so then that way they have access to all that.
So is anybody like opposed to helping with that?
No, I think it sounds
Sorry.
No, I want to hear both. I want to hear.
Well, I just think that new people get overwhelmed with all the groups. So why don't we just start with the newbie group first? And then maybe when they're comfortable with that, we can add them into the other ones. Or I don't want them missing stuff, but I just feel like they get so overwhelmed with all the groups and the chats and they're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at.
My biggest concern with not having them in the other groups is if there's a training that's in MLife and we share it, they can read it. If there is, and same thing, any of the groups, like if they're not in the groups and there's a training, they can't see it. My thought process would probably be like, we can add them to all the groups. They could mute all the groups except for the newbie one. And then as they become more proficient, they could add in groups. And they're still in them. I mean, my gosh, I'm in 5,000 groups and I only get certain, you know what I mean? They could just leave notifications off for the other ones or whatever. I don't know. I just wanted to, I guess, table this idea because I thought this was a really cool group for us to do this with. And I think what a cool thing with our 90-day run to do a newbie 30-day group, whatever, or chat. But I think the group is probably a smarter idea too. But what I would like to do is I would like for you all to sleep on it. And I would like for you all to think about it for a day or so. And then maybe even think of some clever names. Like Legacy Launchpad is what came to my mind when I was thinking about it. Because it's, you know what I mean? I just thought it was cute. But it does not have to be that. I was just saying, like, let's think of some ideas. And guys, I think it'd be good for all of us as we head into this 90 days to really revisit all the basics of the things, like for us, right? Like revisiting what it's like to get started as a new person so that we can actually have a really crafty, clever, simple, duplicatable onboarding system for our new people.
And Daphne, I could even do like my journey with live videos on this group and feel more comfortable. And then we can share it.
This girl, let me just tell you, I've been asking her to do a live video about her journey with live videos for months.
Promise, July, I'm putting that in as one of my goals.
Yeah, girl. I don't even know, like, we're not a scary group, right? Like, we all love the pieces out of you.
I know. I don't know. And it's so funny because I was saying about that. I'm like, for whatever reason, like newbies don't know any better. So here you go. Here's what I suggest. I know it sounds crazy, but I will. I'll do it in the other groups too. Just a question though. So if like I have a new person, so she should be in Legacy, Dynasty, M Life,
One voice.
right? Is there anything else to start? Well, besides the newbie group that we put together.
One voice.
One voice.
One voice. Okay. Thank you.
So, but I would still tell her. I would still tell her that she doesn't need to have notifications on for all those groups coming out of the gates, right? Like, I think we've done a pretty good job. And here I am saying this to all of you. If you see something in MLife or Elite Dynasty that's like attention grabbing, let's put it in Elite Legacy. Like if we do a good job, I think it's great to be in all the groups so that you guys can comment and welcome all the people on all the sidelines. But if we bring all the value into one landing place, we could all have the notifications off and we as leaders could go in and scroll around, but all of our people could have the notifications off and just have Legacy be the main landing.
I don't really like that.
Just a thought process. I mean, and it's optional. We can do whatever.
$100 of tools in there.
As soon as I start thinking about ideas, my brain starts firing in every direction. That's so fun with the anxiety because I can't. So lots of ideas on the table. I'm going to have to watch this back to take notes so that I know what we're doing. Okay, the next thing that got brought up. So you guys think about the group name, ideas with that, whatever we want to do. And that's something that we can work on this week. Yeah. The last thing that I really wanted to bring up in this, and I know that we didn't really have a theme for tonight, besides I wanted to make sure we talked about month end, was somebody, I think Sam, you guys were talking about buy-sell trades. I came out of an appointment and you guys have been talking about buy-sell trades in the chat. So I would love to create an album in Elite Legacy, but it needs to be screenshots. So I need all of you that are doing buy-sell trades to go take some screenshots. I'll create the album and you guys can fill it. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
And then we need to make sure that as we fill it, we're making sure that our people are not copying verbatim and they're not making it, like turning this. We do not want to become one of the companies that copy paste everything. We want to make this ours. So I did buy sell trades last night and used my result picture and just did a little blurb about me in it. And I actually have had decent response to it. So just being a little bit crafty with it, I think we should just be across the board. But when you make it about you, it makes it very hard for somebody to copy paste it. So we'll get that. I think that's a great idea. So I think we should do that. That should be very easy though, because most of you are doing buy sell trades and we can just fill up an album and when somebody new asks, that should be enough to like spark our brains, right? To come up with some good posts on our own once we read a handful of them.
And that'll be Legacy, right?
Elite Legacy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll take a screenshot of my one last night and start the album, and then y'all can screenshot all the ones. Something I've been doing, so I know that Jordan coached us every time we start a referral post to go to that person's page and save the post into a collection. So I have a collection titled referral posts. And so anytime, like when I want to go back and follow up or I want to go bump all of my referral posts, I go to my collections and I go and I comment. I can just go to every single referral post I've ever done. I started one too with my buy sell trades because it's a lot easier than trying to remember what buy sell trade group I posted in. And does that make sense?
Yeah.
Everybody knows how to do collections? Yeah. Okay.
I don't.
You don't know how to do collections? So once you post in the group, as soon as you put your post and you hit post and it comes up and it's actually in the feed of that group, the three little dots, hit that and then it'll say save post. And when you click save post, it'll say create a new collection. And then you click that and type in, I just put in BST. Okay. And then I did that. And so now every time I click save post, it'll ask me, do you want to create a new collection or do you want to choose one of the ones you made? VST's right there. I just click that. So when I go to my saved and it'll show me all my collections options, I click buy sell trades and it's literally a news feed of every buy sell trade I've ever posted.
Oh, okay.
Do you delete your buy sell trade posts after a couple of days,
No.
even if they have the big goose egg on them? Okay.
Sometimes I bump them, but I don't.
Okay.
Like by bumping them, I don't usually put in like bump or a star to like push it back up. I usually post a results picture in the comments to bump them.
Yeah. Oh, that's my dogs.
So, but I think that we could have a good time with this and really, so we've talked about a handful of things. So this collections thing, I would push that out to your team. Like let them know when they're posting buy sell trades, make collections. It's some great things coming. I wouldn't overpromise, underdeliver. That's something I'm working on, right? I wouldn't overpromise, underdeliver until we have the group up, but you can let them know we have some cool ideas coming and to keep eyes out for that. But I think like I want this group to start creating a stir. Right? And some of you, like I said, some of you started posting in Legacy and Dynasty, and I was like, oh yeah. It made me so happy. So don't be afraid, right? When you're doing personal development, if you're like me, I am usually a YouTube personal developer in the morning because that's how I have to focus in the morning. And I always stumble across really awesome things on YouTube. I usually try to only share the ones that are a little bit shorter because I usually share for people like myself. I have a hard time watching ones that are 20 minutes, unless I'm on the treadmill. If I'm on the treadmill, I can watch the 45-minute ones because then I know that I ran my 45 minutes. But I like to share ones that really hit home. Today, what are you reaching for, right? So it is 9:34. I think we did a good job. I hope that you guys are enjoying this. I know that with the sale, we got a little bit off kilter with like the story prompts. Does anybody have questions about story prompts? I know that they kind of bring up some things when I post them. Do you guys like them? Do you like those being provided?
Yeah, I love them.
Okay.
Yes, I like them. Can you kind of explain what that is? Because you kind of did it and I wasn't sure what it was. And I'm not sure if I missed something.
So Kate, I'll be very honest. Sam, you don't owe me apologize. I owe an apology at all. Sorry if I'm very quiet in groups because I usually read it at work in between patients trying to be sneaky. Oh. That's okay. I have to schedule in when I'm going to be active in the groups or else I won't make it happen. So that's part of my self-discipline. Okay, so the story prompts. Kagan paid for a content creation course, right? So she has all these downloads and she shared them with me. And every day, I think for 90 days, this woman gave a different story prompt. I have all these. So basically, and you don't have to follow these guys. Like, I'm not saying, this is not like concrete, like, here's what you have to post on your story about today. This is for those people that are like, I struggle with coming up with what to post about. It gives you a theme for the day. Okay? So you read it, whatever starts coming to mind when you read it. I can't remember what today's was because that was a lot of hours ago that I posted it and my brain's
Was it the chair exercise thing, I think?
No, my chair. Okay, so the story prompt thing is I will only post in the chat. You guys are the only ones getting the story prompt. The chair exercise thing, I've just been trying to get new value into Simple Clean Results and elite accountability for our customers. Those are just fun things that I'm doing. Those have nothing to do with this.
Okay.
So story prompt is going to be just a little paragraph. I've been screenshotting them out of the thing so they look like a screenshot. And they just say, today's prompt is post about your, the first time that your first client, or, oh yeah, today was brand. It was all about things that you want people to think of. Like when people see the color orange, they think of Daphne, right? What makes people think of you, right? So, but each day will be different. And if you read it and you're like, okay, I don't identify with any of this, then don't use it. But still post in your stories. Find some things like make it about sunshine today and do all these fun things outside, or make it about shoes today. And like today I've worn like 4 different pairs of shoes today. I should have made shoe posts today, right? Have fun with your stories. It's going to bring people to you. It makes you a real person. It makes people trust and know you, and it makes people want to be involved with you because you're fun. Okay, so use your stories. If you guys post on Instagram, I mowed today too, Allie, and it was miserable. I also weeded a cactus. Weeded a cactus bed. It was super awesome. Super awesome. Stories, I posted my stories. So for this group, we're committing to 8 to 10 times a day. Now, when you post a string of stories, I would count that as a couple, right? Yeah, 5 or more a day. I would say that is definitely good. That's probably perfect for you, Gary, is 5 or more a day. That's probably more manageable when you get to work in the morning, when you're in the carpool, whatever, just work it in and just make them fun. Shoot, I was going to say something. Oh, when you post on Instagram, there is a setting. I would like to think that I could think of what it is. Create your story at the top of your picture before you actually post it on Instagram. If you click share, you can choose to add to Facebook, and it'll ask you, do you want to do this every time? And when you add to your Instagram story, it will automatically add to your Facebook story every single time, unless you're like me and like to add music. And then it won't, and then it makes me so dang mad because I love adding music to every story. But I haven't been doing it because I like that it posts in both places, not gonna lie. It will double add GIFs, so you can make the movement stuff on your pictures. But have fun. And if you have questions, if you have ideas, ask. If you have great ideas and you found something fun that's working for you, or you created a fun story, please share. The sale kind of took me away from creating strings of stories, but I had such a good time creating those last week that I will create more for you, because I think that we had a good time with those, right? The ones that were like adding along. Yeah, those are good.
Some people have been telling me that they don't know what to do about stories, and like, I don't plan. That's my life. So I giggle when people do, but good for them. But like, one thing that I'm very consistent, because I'm not really a health and wellness freak, not gonna lie, like, this has changed my life and I'm becoming healthier, so I can't be out there in the gym and all those things. So for me, mowing today and then having water and a smoothie, yay me, that was a big deal. But then, like, every night I'm consistent with making my dinner, like chopping up vegetables, because how easy is that? I'm talking to the dogs, I'm cooking, I just snap pictures along the way. It's easy for me to remember. So something that you do every day, like you said, taking your kids to the carpool or going to the gym or whatever, like, they think, oh, what's Allie making this time? Or, oh, what's Nikki going to do at the workout place? Or they don't think that about me.
Just saying.
Me neither.
I love that. Am I cutting somebody off? I love that you said that, because it is like creating consistency with stories. I know Karen does like what her tea bag says in the morning, like the little paper on her tea bag says like something inspirational, and people look forward to those. Yeah. Kelly Garcia pulls a tarot card every day and like does like her affirmation every day, and people look forward to that. So I know, like, Gary, there's something you could do, like coffee talk with Gary or hot tub time with Gary and Lynn, like something that's going to create consistency, because you always post about you and Lynn getting Sunday morning, Saturday morning in the hot tub. Like, post that and start creating consistency with things that happen all the time in your life. Lynn cooks killer dinners. You should be sharing those, because someday I'm going to show up on your front step because I'm close enough. I see somebody shaking their head in the background at me. Was that Lynn? No, Briar. So all the consistency, right? Find something. I post all the time about noodles, and if like 5 days go by without noodles being on stories, I get messages like, where's that dog that you can hardly see her face? Serious. So create consistency. People, that's what makes you real, right? Like, Facebook posts, we're like being inspirational, we're creating curiosity, we're doing engagement, we're doing all the things, and then on stories, we're like, oh my gosh, I just bought new shoes. Like real life. For real. That's my life. Okay, so I kept you way longer than I wanted to. It's 9:41, but I'm already very much looking forward to these Monday night, like, meeting of the minds, because I think that we can create some fun here, and I really do want to see this specific group really stepping up and really shining. So if you guys need anything from me, go ahead, Allie.
One last thing. So I'm all about manifesting, and I've been trying so hard to beat D1, and I'm so proud. I've already bawled, so that's okay, because our team's amazing. But when Daphne said, what's your reward? I'm like, well, the chunk of change that's coming my way. But no, I'm getting myself a manicure. You guys, that is so like not a big deal, but I'm getting me some Disney nails. And let me tell you, for the last 3 days, I've been searching Pinterest and I have all the Disney nails. And that, I think, really, I got goosebumps. Like, that made it real. I'm all about manifesting. And that was the last little thing that I needed to believe this can happen. So see that end result and really just be with it and believe in it.
I love that. And I'm glad that you said that, because only a few of you sent me your 30, 60, 90 goals and your 30, 60, 90 rewards. They can be written on a piece of paper. You can just take a picture of them. And like when we're talking rewards, exactly what Ellie said. And actually, this wasn't even, she tried to say that D1 was her 30-day, but that was her like 5-day goal or 7-day goal, right? Because that was 7 days ago that we had this conversation.
Yeah.
So
moving on.
up the goals a little bit. But like I use manicure or, you know, pedicure or spa day as a reward, like something tactical. I don't have my sheet here with all my rewards in it, but like hiring a housekeeper. I like things that you're going to do because you hit your goal. Hi, babies. What are you boys doing? I think you're supposed to be in bed. Okay, so I love that you were looking on Pinterest. So if you guys need ideas for rewards, there's a perfect place to start looking. And you guys, that would be really fun. Allie is the only one that even shared Disney pictures of nails in the chat. Like, let's manifest together and let's really, really do this. I'm so freaking excited. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. Thanks, guys. I love you all. If you need anything, you know where I'm at. For right now, yes. I think that this time work okay for everybody?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Yes, it works.
If like a holiday, I don't think there's any holidays until like Labor Day, but if there's something that comes up or the company has something, oh my gosh, you guys. I'm getting ahead of myself. There goes my brain.
Charlie.
I'm so excited about all the things that are coming. Did you need me, Michelle?
Oh, no, sorry. My dog.
No, that's okay.
Crazy.
That's okay. You drive safe. So as of right now, Mondays. If we have to change it, like if the one-off happens, we'll deal with that when it happens. But for right now, we'll just do Mondays at this time.
Okay.
They'll be recorded though, right? So if I can't be on one or if I have to come late, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to record them and then I'll just share them into the chat. But I'll always have the recording on my computer. So if for whatever reason you miss it in the chat and or it gets buried like we were talking about, I'll have it.
All right.
All right.
Gotta go walk dogs. Thank you.
I love you all.
Thank
Talk to you
you.
tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I love you too.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.